Thank you. I got some curse words and stuff in there, but I mean well.
It's reality. It's reality.
Yeah. Oh goodness. So are y'all back on the mainland now, Auntie?
You see, unfortunately, you don't see no beach behind us.
Jamaican friend.
You know, right. You don't see no palm trees.
Oh, that's funny.
What's happening, good people?
Good, we back at it again. I'm just trying to make sure I can see the thing. Are we live? Yeah, it says we're live.
Why are you so dark?
Oh, because my lights on. Oh,
he's setting the ambiance.
Right. Come on, let folks see that fresh haircut. Ludu.
I got somebody unplugged my lamp on the side of me, but I don't feel like looking for it. But this is my natural complexion. I'm not. All light skinned people aren't bright and glowing like my aunt and cousin over there. So let's hop into it. Grandpa, we done did so well with the show. When I moved, Grandpa decided to move into a mansion. He still got
I'm about to be evicted because I don't know how I got in there. they know I'm in the wrong house. I just don't know when they're going to throw me out.
We got a whole baby grand over there just chilling.
Yeah.
That's opulence, man.
I wasn't even aware until Joshua told me,
Yeah, Grandpa's like, we done got so much money now from the show.
Money piled up.
You can just have a grand piano.
Oh yeah. I didn't even bring out the magnifying glass. Yeah, I didn't bring out my glass. Oh, in the corner, there's a grand piano there.
That's hilarious.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I can't wait to see Pops' beer today because I got something to say.
What you got today, Grandpa?
Oh, I have some Gaulish. What do you call it? Gaulish. GROSH.
You got a grosh. You can't drink a grosh at a baby grand, Pops. You cannot have a baby grand and be drinking grosh.
That's why I got this. I got the best, Can't get no better than this.
No, it is not.
For people who don't know, who can't see where Grandpa actually is,
the price I paid for it, I got better than the best.
He's sitting in a room like maybe 5 feet away from an actual oven that's on.
All right.
And he's wearing a black sweater and a jacket and long pants.
And he got the door closed.
So he's not outside. He's actually in a very toasty area with that jacket on.
Very toasty.
What's he thinking? If you understand why this is hilarious to me.
There, you can see the fire, man. I'm gonna take my jacket off.
Now it's a fireside chat with Grandpa.
Right. Fireside chat. You right about that.
Man, the first time I ever went there, we stayed up in Pops' room. I was like, I can't make it. I'm going to die. I was like, why is it so hot? And I was too scared because I had never seen it before. I didn't know how to turn it off. I didn't want to burn up the house. But I was like, who stays in this room? Why does it feel like hell? Like, it just feels like hell. I couldn't crack the patio door. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, I cannot do it. I just cannot.
You wiped his forehead. He was sweating. It must have really been hot. Don't tell me you can see the sweat. No. Oh. I'm just surprised you wiped your forehead. I don't think I ever seen you sweat like that.
Oh, let's see here. Now we done got return actress.
I got
cousin Mildred back in here today, y'all.
Right.
She's also now an author.
Yo, it's my author? What?
When Grandpa said Inkster, a part of my genes kicked in. I had to pronounce it how it sounded. Hey, Auntie, will you put up the book for a second?
I didn't know Mildred in her book when she says she was from Inkster.
There you go. Just making sure I got the spelling right. There we go. Bam. Now it's the banner. So people go. This is Mildred's book's name. I'm sure she's got a book or something. Auntie graciously pulled up her copy because I think Auntie might have been quoted in the book, so that's why she brought it up.
She's dropping some good gems in there.
Well, Mildred, beer in and if you got something to drink, and give us like 30 seconds about you what you've been doing in the book and all that while we keep it going.
Okay. Well, I'm drinking on water today, but the book, it's been a long process. I think it was maybe a year ago. I actually spoke to Crystal when I was still just in trying to make sense of like the thought process behind it. And the thought came from literally being pregnant as a Black woman and being like, what the heck is this? Like, what does this look like? I'm like alone on this journey, which isn't, the truth, but I felt like that. And I used my journal entries as a way to express my feelings and to kind of delve into some of the thoughts that was just popping into my head about, bringing a child into the world with the social climate that we have, and just life as a Black woman and as a Black mother, and other women's experiences, the fun parts, the not so fun parts. It just allowed me to examine myself. And to be honest, when I became a mother, I felt as if I was like triggered by things in my childhood. So it was just all these combustions of like all these thoughts, and I just needed to like place them somewhere. And once I started to find environments that were like sacred spaces where I could communicate with other women who are part of my village, just helped and supported me in different ways to spread their wealth of knowledge. And the whole, I guess, idea behind it is just making sure that every mama, no matter her situation, is felt as if she's seen and heard. And I just think that that's really important, especially in this day and age where representation just matters. So it's just kind of like a hodgepodge of like all these different thoughts, kind of correlates with the thought process of the cover, where it's just so many of these things being thrown at this Black woman. And that's a little spiel on it.
All the things.
Well, now that Auntie's put it up, why don't you, beer and Auntie, tell us you got drinking? Of course, talk about, maybe the book, or even the fact that y'all went to Jamaica. Just, that's how y'all just be popping up and going places.
I'm jealous.
Well, it ain't no red stripe today. I'll tell you that much. I think I only drank it twice the whole time we were there. I think coming and going. I think that was the only time I had red stripe. I did something. Well, today we are drinking. What's it say, babe? Oh, I thought I heard somebody say something. Today we're drinking Death's Tar.
Okay.
By Revolution Brewing, local brewery. 14.8%. We're sharing it because it's a big boy, and it's 14.8%. So you see, chocolate is dark. Let's see what it's supposed to be. Don't y'all laugh at me because I gotta take my glasses off to see.
And we are alcoholed out from Jamaica.
This is the first thing we've had to drink since we've been back. We ain't want no drinks at all.
That's intense.
I ain't gonna lie. I was a little nervous. I was like, "Oh, we got the beer show. I got a drink today." It doesn't even say what's in here. It just says it's an imperial stout aged in bourbon barrels. So I don't know. I like Revolution. I like Death's Tar.
Yeah, it's good.
Ooh.
Yeah, it smells great.
Caramely.
Smells like alcohol.
Boozy.
Definitely boozy.
That face, what was it?
I might be drunk just for sniffing it in. That last sniff felt like straight alcohol.
Well, remember now, we didn't upgrade it. Now that Grandpa done moved into his new home, we can't just be having any type of libations on the show now.
He drinking Gross or whatever. Gross.
You know what? Gross is the first beer I ever had that I actually bought from the store, and it was expired. It was our first time trying it. We were like, we got to try it. Because we had been saying this was a long time ago. This is when we were first starting to expand our beer horizons. This was before we even bought the house. So that had to be at least 16, 17 years ago. So we tasted it. We were both looking at it like, I don't know if this was supposed to taste like, but this ain't good. Looked on it. It had expired by like maybe 6 months to a year. That was the first time I ever took beer back to the store to get a refund.
I didn't know beer could expire.
I didn't either. And but that showed me that beer was so nasty. It had been sitting on the shelf so long that it expired.
But it tastes just like it did when it wasn't expired.
I mean, what's crazy to me is that beer that Grandpa's drinking right now is the unfinished bottles that you put back.
Probably. But I say,
I missed that, Josh. What repeat that?
No, that's nothing, Grandpa.
Well, repeat your joke.
No, for even nothing, man.
Hey, y'all haven't graded your beer yet.
That's what I said. I think I would give it. I'm at a 7.65.
I was starting out at 7.5.
Oh.
Yeah.
I haven't tasted it yet, but I'm
what
gonna
is yours,
start with just from the smell.
You don't want to know, Joshua. You don't want to know what that is.
Pops, what you gonna rate yours? Pops.
Huh?
What's your rating?
Oh, that's what I said. I said I haven't tasted it yet, but I'm starting with a 7.
You start with a 7.
What? Wait a minute.
I did. That was just with the smell. I smelled it and it was a 7.
Cut it.
It may go out the roof now.
Go off the roof.
It might hit 7.1.
See, this is what happens every time we have a female guest on who done brought like a product or something on. Grandpa gets so inspired that his numbers he can get past 5.
What's your rating, Pops?
Well, I went to 7.5 now that I tasted it.
Oh, wait a minute.
Out of here.
And there's room for growth, you know.
And there's room for growth. Listen,
I know what you wrote in this book, right?
What Mildred wrote in this book, man?
It must be inspiring, you know.
It's inspiring, man. He'll give out these numbers.
Oh my God!
Hey, for everybody's watching, before I do mine, the link you see here is the link to go to get Mildred's book on Amazon. So I'm not sure how you can copy and paste, but y'all can type, y'all can read. If you read, this is a litmus test. If you can read this, you can read her book. That's solid, right? So I went to the corner liquor store today, and I got some Guinness Nitro Cold Brew coffee today. It smells good.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna do what Grandpa said. I'm gonna give it a 7 based off the smell.
Oh man, it's just out of control over there.
Based off the
smell. Over. I quit.
We moving on up, man.
That grand piano that changed Grandpa's perspective, man. I'm telling you, he been different. He been different since he had changed his background.
Yeah, that's what it is. He got a sunny disposition in life now. Like everything's Irie man.
Everything is Irie man.
Everything.
This actually does smell like a Starbucks coffee.
Hey, we call that in the hood living high on the hog.
High on the hog.
Oh,
that's right. You moving on up.
I'm not gonna lie. If you like Starbucks cold brew coffee or just any type of cold brew like nitro coffee, this is exactly what it tastes like. So it might be higher, it might be lower for you. I think it actually tastes pretty good. I might stay at a 7.
What you rating it?
It'll stay at a 7. Like I'm not gonna go wild with it saying it's the best thing ever, but it's not bad. It's a decent beer. I'll drink it again.
I don't believe it.
You should try it.
I don't believe you or your granddad.
No, hold on. Have you ever had nitro or cold brew coffee?
Yes.
Do you like it?
Sure, I like coffee. Yeah.
You should try it.
No,
you should try it based off that.
What I don't like is nitro beer. I can't stand nitro beer.
I'm telling you,
automatically taking 3 to 4 points off of any of y'all.
I'm telling you, you got to.
I just go get some coffee.
Find this one. Find this one.
I don't do nitro beer. So let me tell you the story about nitro beer. The first time, was it a Guinness that we saw, babe? I think it was a Guinness nitro, but we like, oh, what's this? We gonna try this. Something we ain't never heard of nitro. It tastes like juice. It tastes because they remove all the doggone carbonation from it. If I'm drinking beer, I need some carbonation.
You know what? Let me get a bougie niece rating. Let me get your niece in here to try this, and then because if she thinks it's good, then you gotta try it.
Let it have it coming out of
the like Starbucks coffee though.
But I'm just saying, you know, if her palate says it's okay, then it's gotta at least be good enough to try it.
I don't know.
We need more hood validation.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's the end of the year. I don't know if Mercury in retrograde again already this quickly. But Pops up there talking about a gross. First of all, Pops gave a rating higher than 6.5. And then he gave it to a gross and he gave it a 7.5. I don't believe it. Something ain't right.
She'll come in a second. She was on the phone.
I'll tell you what, this drink's a little too easy to be 14.8.
I know. I was just drinking it.
Man, I'm glad we split that can because I was just smashed.
It's gonna be when when one of y'all go into the other room talking about I don't feel nothing and then slump.
And I have emails to type today, so they're gonna be fun emails.
These about to be some auntie going to be all caps, sticks as lowercase because she took her glasses off because she got hot from drinking the alcohol.
Hey, you must know us.
We didn't got this. So Mildred, go into this, man. You done wrote 100 pages. That's like 5 times the total number of words I ever wrote in my life. So. So go on, Mildred, break it down. Why'd you write the book? Is that really an interview question? What made you want to write the book?
I think because there's like a lot of books out there, but they're very much so like cookie cutter approach. Like, so you're pregnant, what to do, what to expect when you're expecting. And it's like they tell you all the things that you never hear about, the things that you shouldn't expect, or conversations, or no one breaks down like the cultural differences between people. So I don't know if whitewashed is the term to use, but it just seemed as if it was like a universal thing. And then I think even more as a woman of color, there's no mystery.
What color is that?
What'd you say?
What color
Don't
is
listen to him. Don't listen to him.
There's no mystery that there's a lot of health disparities that affect Black and brown women more than other women. And it's not necessarily because we are different. We're human beings. We have the same, we are different. We're very much so different. No woman is ever the same. That's why that visibility needs to be there. But often in medical situations, because of implicit biases, women are being overlooked. Women and babies are dying. A lot of times women, may be underinsured, and there's some women who are overinsured. One case that really, I watched this documentary about Serena Williams a couple years back, and I was like, dang, this woman is like this. She married to like this rich technology tycoon, and she's an Olympian athlete, and she like knows her body more than anyone. And literally she also had dealt with complications and implicit biases. Like she had to tell the doctors that it was an issue with her because they wouldn't even like check up on her, right? So I was like, dang, it's not correlated to like your socioeconomic status, no matter how much education you have. None of these things matter. And I think it initially came from a place of fear, but I was like, yo, I know I'm not the only person that like feels this way. And for me, it was more so of like just having something to where people are seen and heard, and some of these thoughts that a woman may not feel comfortable saying out loud, or having conversations with, a partner or a husband or a family member, or it's not a mystery in African American culture like that. Sex is something that is overtly talked about. At least from my experience, it was just like, just don't do it. And then you just show up with a kid. It's like, oh man, I didn't even know you did that. It's kind of like how we all got here. Either somebody got busy or somebody did some science, So
there's some science.
I mean, hey, it's 2021. People got a lot of stuff going on. But I think it was just like, man, I gotta get these thoughts out. So I just researched more and more. And I guess the initial idea behind it is just like wanting to make space for these women and just allow them to be heard and make them aware of like their rights and alternative birthing methods. Especially because a lot of this also correlates back to slavery. The founding father of gynecology, J. Marion Sims, was a total creep, and he was corrupt. And he also did surgeries on Black women without anesthesia and without consent. So there's nothing new about what's been going on. It's now that we're on the forefront and we're having these uncomfortable conversations, and it's now being brought to the light. And I think that's just where, it started from, the ideas sparked about it. And it was like, it starts from birth. And then we talk about, birthing a Black kid in this world. Crystal talked to me about, some of her fears as a Black mother of Black sons. So just being able to hear different conversations. So I had new moms, I had more seasoned moms, and just all bring together their thoughts and about motherhood. So, yeah.
Hey, you didn't turn Grandpa invisible on that one. Grandpa, you said you read most of the book, so tell us what you thought about what you read so far.
I was tell us what I thought. I don't know what I wanted to do. I wanted to ask her to expound on the fried chicken.
The fried chicken.
Yeah. Because that's common, though. Could you go into that a little bit?
Yeah. So, stereotypes exist. And, I don't eat fried chicken now, but I was raised on fried chicken. My grandma burned up some bird. I want a whole bunch of it. But,
Wait, let's back up. Let's back up.
It was a health person that brought the fried chicken up, wasn't it?
Yes. Yes, during my pregnancy. So, while I was pregnant, both of my parents have diabetes. My father had diabetes since he was 19 years old. My maternal grandmother, she died at 53 from effects of diabetes. And then also my mom, she had gestational diabetes when she was pregnant with me. So it was no mystery that, just by genetics, that could be seemingly my, that could happen to me. That could be a possibility. And throughout pregnancy, I was very, very, very specific about what I ate, how I continued to exercise, things that I did. But my first primary caregiver, he was a complete, he was just not a good person. He should not have been in medical care. And he says, yeah, how much weight have you gained so far? And I was like, 35 pounds. And he was like, let me see your hands and your feet. He said, you got to be eating like fried chicken or something, or what's your diet like? Because it's not making sense to me. You gained too much weight so much. So, come on, tell me, you got to like fried chicken. And I looked at this man. I was just like, sir, I want to put hands on you, but that's not an option right now, because I've been giving you exactly what you want, and you'll kick me out of here, and I'll be locked up with me and my baby in jail. Right. But it was a moment where, dang, I'm being vulnerable right now, because this is a person who is in healthcare, a provider who's supposed to see me and look at me and not stereotype me, because I am a patient. And after he said that to me, I was like, yo, I gotta this isn't a safe space. You see me as a number. You don't see me as a person. He had not looked in my files. He didn't know any of my previous medical history. He just literally walked in and was like, let me see your hands and your feet. You're going to have preeclampsia.
What's wild about that story, what you just said was, if he didn't look at none of your files, it's really, so that's how powerful racism is. Because when you look at light-skinned people, for you to pick down and say, this is a Black person, your stereotype is chicken. From off rip.
But white people eat more chicken than we eat.
Well, I'm just saying.
Everybody loves chicken.
Everybody loves chicken.
No, but there's specific. That's like the Dave Chappelle thing when he was in the airplane. He's like, how'd you know I wanted the fried chicken?
What do you say, Pops?
It's sort of like when Tiger Woods with the collard greens. It's sort of like Tiger Woods in the Masters. I hope you don't get no collard green, when they have the dinner, the Masters pick the dinner.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that?
Man, I would have picked the blackest meal. I'd have been in there.
I hope you don't fried chicken and collard green.
No, that wasn't that. I don't think that was Tiger Woods. That was he was playing. I think I remember what you're talking about, Grandpa. He was playing against another golfer in the tournament, and the golfer was talking about Tiger Woods.
No, he won the Masters.
No, this was a couple. I think I know what you're talking about. This is something that happened a couple years ago. Tiger Woods was playing. I should say a couple years ago. It was in this past decade.
Earlier.
It was in this past.
Fuzzy Bowler. That's who said it.
Okay.
At the 1997.
No, let me say.
Oh, there was another thing that happened.
Let me say this: when Tiger Woods was one of his first Masters, and the Masters, that was his first one, and the Masters pick out the dinner, and this other golfer, I know his name, I just can't recall it right now.
His name is Fuzzy Zeller. Fuzzy Zeller.
But there you go, Fuzzy Zeller. Fuzzy Zeller, wasn't it?
That sounds like an Italian mafia person. Fuzzy Zeller.
Yes, Fuzzy Zeller.
Yeah, and he said something. I hope he don't order no fried chicken and collard green.
Sure
I mean, that was a throwback, to what he was. The black man, the first one that I believe ever won the Masters.
So this is
and he
this
comes
is the
up
quote.
with that,
He said he's doing quite well, pretty impressive. That little boy is driving well and he's putting well. He's doing everything it takes to win. So you know what you guys do when he gets in here? You pat him on the back and say congratulations, enjoy it, and tell him not to serve fried chicken next year. Got it? Or collard greens or whatever the hell they serve.
Yeah.
That's like saying good job. Like that's basically what he said. I'm gonna celebrate you, but also remind you of what you are or what I think you are. Ooh.
I'd have had hog maws, chitlins, I'd have dropped the and then I'd have been like, and I'm about to win 15 more times. So we about to eat. Y'all gonna get used to this.
And we only drinking red Kool-Aid.
Red Kool-Aid and Schlitz malt liquor.
The crazy thing about that is like, even if a person did want to do those things, like,
now it's okay
because it's different.
Could you imagine Grandpa winning the Masters and everyone having to eat hog's head cheese and drink Strohs out the bag?
Oh yeah, hey man, that's what I would have ordered, Yeah. Anyway, during this particular Masters, one of the guys at the rec center where you go and work out, it was near the end of the tournament, and Garcia, I think, was running neck and neck with Tiger for the Masters.
Yep. And
he commented, he says he couldn't hold Mickey. What's the golfer now? What I'm trying to say.
Jack Nicholson?
I don't know why I got Mickey. Jack Nicholson. He said he couldn't hold his so-and-so, And after that, Jack Nicklaus went on to keep winning these Masters. And, he never mentioned the game out. He thought that Tiger Woods was a fluke. So he won by accident, but that's the end of that,
Yeah.
And Jack Nicklaus going to be the man, And Jack Nicklaus hadn't won the Masters then.
Oh, you thinking of Phil Mickelson.
Phil Mickelson.
What
can I say? Yeah. I don't know.
You said Jack.
We got what you're talking about, Grandpa. It's all right.
Yeah, we got it.
He's solid.
Okay.
But one thing, like
I get names and everything. I'm thinking one thing and something else coming out my mouth.
Like Mildred, he was telling me earlier. He read your book. He kept calling it. It was adequate. It was a very adequate book.
But that's the name of the book. Adequate, right?
She's talking about, it's a really important point, right? It reminds me of the book Medical Apartheid, right? Because it's just talking about all the inequalities in medicine and the stereotypes and the racism involved in it. But I want to tie this to a story in Jamaica, right? So me and Chris is in the water, and let me brag a little bit. We're in the poolside bar hanging out, and we end up meeting this couple. Where were they from, babe?
Which couple? Oh, the couple? They're from Scotland.
They from Scotland, right?
Graham and Elaine.
Yeah, so they flew over to Jamaica. They're doing like 2 weeks in Jamaica.
Allegedly, that's what their names are.
I'm a talker, so I end up talking to everybody. So we talk. Chris is too. So we get to talking to Graham, and Graham is like, he basically said he hate Americans. He was
white
like
Americans.
He said they white people, but they do white people crazy. He was like, man, I don't like to be around them white people. He was like, because he was just talking about their racism. He was like, it's so inbred and deep in them. Mm-hmm. They can't even help themselves. He was like, there's no logical thinking to it at all. But we've been finding this everywhere I go, right? Like everywhere you go, American white people is not liked in the world scene. So the week before Jamaica, I was in Montreal, Canada, right? And this woman told me, she said, oh, yeah, you know, the joke, well, the reality of it in America is they say, in Canada, they say, when you tired of Americans, you go visit Cuba. Because Americans ain't allowed in Cuba, right?
Ain't that sad?
But you just find that like these people are not like they're tolerated because they got that war machine, right? But it's like, and like people keep telling me like, well, why you want to leave the country? Why you want to leave the country? It's dangerous everywhere. I'm like, name me a space that is safe for me here in America. Show me one.
Exactly.
Show me one space. In the medical environment, we're not safe there either, right? So I'm trying to bring it full circle. But we're not safe in the medical room with the person that's supposed to be responsible for not only watching out for my best interest, but you got a baby in there. Mm-hmm. And he got dumb, ignorant stereotypes in his mind, and he's making decisions based upon that. Like, man, it's not a safe place for us to be. Like, for real, these people are nuts. I don't care.
In this country, you know, I'm hung up on Cuba, right?
Oh, I
said, you know, I'm hung up on Cuba. But the thing about this is, only my problem is, let's do some pre-Castro, and then you can understand Castro. Now, they call Castro a tyrant and all this kind of stuff, and he's a dictator. Let's go back to pre-Castro, before he became into power, and see where the black folks stood, because I remember it well. I remember when the people were, Castro let anybody wanted to come to the United States to come, and they were all kind of boats and everything coming across the water to Florida, right? You didn't see no black people coming across no water. Why? Because Florida was worse than Cuba. In Cuba, they were lynching over there, and they lynching in Florida, you know. So let's do some pre-Castro when we want to talk about Cuba.
Yeah, I like that. I mean that comparison is real.
Yeah, I mean, my understanding was that during that little short revolution, they lost about 20,000 black people died over it. But you never hear a word of anything of black rebellion. Nothing at all. All you want to hear about is Castro came in with his socialist program, became a communist or something, which he wasn't a communist at the start. Because like I said, I recall when Castro went to Hotel Teresa there in Harlem, when he come to the United States seeking aid, you know. So let's do a little pre-Castro, then people can understand that he ain't the bad man that they want to boogeyman that they want to make him to be.
Yeah.
Because Mandela will tell you that, you know, he said, your enemy ain't mine. When he got out of prison, he went straight to Cuba to thank Castro for helping him get out of prison. And Castro was the one that he fought 8 years over there. That's why I'm saying, let's do some pre-Castro and understand the treatment we took as a people over there. And then you can understand why you don't see them. Huh?
You know they always whitewashing history and everything, right? They don't want to tell no truth. Yeah. You know, like somebody said, if a book can unravel your country ain't shit. Like, come on, like, they want to ban the books. Like, damn, you want to ban the books? Like, your country can't be standing on nothing if a book can take you down. But the medical profession is the same way, though. You know, and I don't know. I love the sister that you wrote a book all about it and like digging into those issues, not just the medical issues, right, but the fear of black parents, right? Black parents in general, but particularly the mama. So I commend you on that. That's dope. Have an idea and then bring it to fruition. So I don't know what goes on.
Go into that, Mildred. What was the process of writing the book for people who don't know?
Oh, and that people is Crystal. Crystal, raise your hand. She people.
Nice talking to you right now. Oh, are you talking to me? Where's your book?
I got books.
Where is it? I know you gonna get beware of the light. Don't you dare get beware of the light.
Well, hold on. Let's get back to Mildred while we're doing this. Mildred, what was the process like writing a book, especially of this magnitude?
I would definitely say I had to do it in like small doses because
I'm out here. I'm an author.
That's not the same.
It counts.
It does not.
Continue. We're listening to Mildred right now. We're not listening to Crystal. This is only authors talking.
The shame.
Wait till we log off.
I ain't logging off. I'm on this show eternally.
Ain't nobody here but us, baby.
We gonna lock this door real quick.
Go ahead, Mildred. I'm sorry. Please excuse my husband. Please excuse me. He ain't got no manners.
I would just say taking it in small doses. I think being a new parent, I had this romanticized idea of like motherhood, and I had my daughter Delilah literally 2 weeks before the city of Los Angeles like shut down. But I started initially writing it while I was pregnant. So I was trying to like make sense of the world that I was actually existing in. There was riots going on in the city. There was ghetto birds flying around, choppers. I'm just like, what is happening? I'm trying to write, but I'm like scared. And also, will like this air that's outside, will it like kill me? And like not going to Target for like 3 months, and Target was a part of my self-care, so all these different things going on. But I think it was being able to, speak to my partner about like, this is really important to me. So I need to like carve out space for that. So, if that meant like him taking the baby for some time for me to just kind of like self-care, which was doing something for myself. And I think a lot of people correlate self-care to being like, oh, I'm just about to go get, a mani and a pedi, or I'm gonna, it's a different definition for every person. But for me, it was like, I have to get these words out, right? At the time, I wasn't in therapy. I'm a big advocate for therapy. But at the time I didn't have a therapist. So I was like, this just got to get out because this is too much for me. So I would just start those journal entries as I had once I found out I was pregnant with my daughter. And it was just a lot of conversations with different people. And I think in those conversations, I talk about it in the book about creating a village and being able to kind of cherry pick what you like from people and from motherhood, or say, for example, ways that my mom did things. There were some ways I thought she was like 1,000% on, and I want to take that and this. So it's just absorbing all that information and then being able to regurgitate it, but also like find my voice. So I caught myself trying to like rewrite things sometimes, and it was like, that sounded a little too vanilla for me. Or like, maybe I need to say nah instead of no, or whatever it was. It was like, I need this to do this because I want this voice to be heard. So it was a lot of like, I'm gonna write this. No, I ain't gonna do that. So I caught myself, instead of initially writing on my computer, it's so easy to just push delete, where I was like, I need to like, make a Venn diagram on a piece of paper. I need to jot these down. So it was a little bit of hodgepodge everywhere. But more importantly, it was me showing up for myself in order to do that. So it was no straight and narrow process whatsoever. I think it was a lot of speaking up for myself and also honoring myself through that process, which is hard to do just in general, and especially when the world feel like it's like melting at the same time.
Man, that's heavy, man. What would you say is like the defining chapter of the book, if you could say?
I like to call them essays rather than chapters, because it is just like all of these, they're not in like a chronological order to where it's a specific or one has more weight. One in particular that touches my heart, I think more than others, is it's called Act Like a Child, and it's about the adultification of Black children. And I talk about my process as a kid, and like about having a little Black girl in the world and how I want her to be seen, and also to speak up for herself and find places and spaces where she's celebrated rather than like dimming her light. And I think that's a really important thing to tell our kids, because we want to keep them safe, right? But we also don't want to like to dim their light. So I think through that process, I had to like delve into, my inner child, but also think about things that were going on in the social climate at the time. In particular, there was a 9-year-old girl, I believe it was in I think it was Buffalo, New York, or either Rochester, New York. A little Black girl, she was having like a meltdown because she also had some mental health issues. She overheard her parents arguing and fighting, and she said that she was self-harm. So her mother called the police to intervene, but when she got there, she couldn't calm down, typical or meltdown. And when she got there, the police officer said, act like a child. Now, this girl, 9 years old, 9 years earlier as to what she would be deemed a legal adult, was then maced by another white, I believe it was a woman at the time, and told her to act like a child. So I think what it is the adultification is another thought process of arming ourselves and arming our children and being aware of how we talk to them, how we see them, how we keep them safe, how we take up space, and also being able to advocate and speak for themselves just in general in life, which also can allow them to speak up against any type of implicit bias. So. And then also too, like I throw a little shade in there. I talk about how Caucasian, girls can make a whole life. The cash me outside girl who can disrespect her mama on TV and become a millionaire off of it. Whereas, a little Black girl on the East Side coughed wrong and she cuffed, So I think it just, which also then can happen to medical arresting and all this. So it's just, I think I just got a soft spot for it because I have fire behind it, but also being a mother of a little Black girl, I ain't playing that. So,
as I said, the sad thing is that they think that Black women are just already naturally angry. You don't want to mess with Mama Bear though. Black Mama Bear is totally different. Like nobody is as fierce when it comes to protection as us. I don't care what anybody says. It's just not. So, like you said, when it comes to your little Black baby girl,
Uncle Pooper muted himself. Right.
What you say, nephew?
Uncle Pooper muted himself. He's just talking.
I'm like, nobody hear me? Isn't it terrible that you got to live in a society where you got to be Mama Bear, where you got to feel like I got to fiercely protect my children from this world around me. Like everybody ain't living like that around the world. And I keep going back to what Ian said years ago that just blew my mind. He was like, I don't want to live in a place where everybody got a gun. He's like, it don't make no sense. He was like, what's wrong with y'all to even think that in order to feel safe, I got to have a gun and to walk around like that is okay. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I keep going back to it's time to get the hell out of here. Like if you really want to raise your child in like a free spirit, loving environment, it ain't here. No. Because it really takes a village to raise the child, but you can't trust the village because these people lunatics. Like,
I trust my village. I don't trust the town.
Well, I'm imagine if you was in a whole town, because like Dr. Joy DeGruy talks about this in post-traumatic slave syndrome. She talked about being in I think she was somewhere in Africa, but there's this little baby, like little toddler, like just roaming around and different people are picking her up and playing with her and this and that. And the mama and the dad, they're all just doing their thing. But literally the whole village is taking care of the baby. The baby's safe no matter where the baby at.
I got you.
It was like a beautiful story she was telling. And she was like, I couldn't even imagine that. And I think she grew up outside of San Francisco or something. She was like, I couldn't even imagine my baby being 2 feet from me at all times. And it's just a totally different experience. I'm not saying that happens everywhere.
Wow. And that's crazy you said that, because when you just said it, not imagining the boys not being 2 feet away, one of the things I said so many times they were little, if you can't see me, I can't see you. Like we always had to be I need to see you at all times. Like, so if you ever turn around, you can't see that means you've gone too far. But when you talk about that fear, what Mildred said that, I told her about my fear, like, and Ben, I don't know if you remember this, but when I was about 5 or 6 months pregnant with our oldest, I called him on my way to work and I said, I ain't having this baby. He was like, what? It's a little too late for that. I'm like, no, but it hit me Like it literally, the fear weighed me down. I was like, I'm about to bring a black man into America. And I didn't want to do it.
You almost said America.
I almost said America. It's America.
Days in there.
Right. But it was such a, almost a paralyzing fear. Like, how do I bring a black man? Yes, sir.
I was going to say, it takes a village to raise a child. I think that's the way it goes. That's the words.
Yes,
but
sir.
anyway, back in the 30s, we brought some of that from Africa, and it lasted up until about the 30s, to the 40s, maybe 50s, things began to change. But when I was a kid, everybody was, your parent or so in the black community. You do something, next thing you know, if your mother don't know about it before you finish, you get slapped around by the people who weren't no relation to you, but it was a community. When we had the church, everybody in the church, everybody knew everybody, so, let me so-and-so, let me quit doing what I'm doing, But I'm just saying that it was more of a community. I don't even right now, I don't even know my neighbors, but when I was a kid, we used to know everybody,
Yes.
So I'm saying some of that African stuff we brought with us, and it kind of got away from us over the years.
Yeah, but I was recently reading Miseducation of Negro, right? And Carter G. Woodson talked about it 100 years ago. He was like, he basically said, you done bought these white ideas and these white principles is right. And you threw away your Africanness and your togetherness as a unity and a people, and you bought it for this rugged individualism. And he's like, it's destroying us. And he said it 100 years ago. Right? It's like, you got to put that in context. This book was written in 1929, right?
I thought you meant like year 29.
When Pops was born.
Yeah. And he's talking about the erosion then. So right now, like, man, we don't even got a community now. We basically just dark-skinned white folks walking around terrorizing one another because you think you're doing the right thing. It just is what it is. I ain't got time for nobody's feelings. The truth is the truth. It stands barefoot and naked. And it's okay.
Now after the show, I got to leave my house and knock on door to door so I can introduce myself.
Meet your neighbors, yeah.
What's sad is, like Pop said, we've been living in this house for 16 years, going on 17 years. We know the neighbor right here very well, even have our number.
Oh,
we know both of our neighbors on each side of us. We know 2 older gentlemen who live down this way. We know one other couple that lives down that way, like 5 or 6 houses.
Okay.
And that's about it.
That's about it, though.
And when I say no, that means if we see that
the elders are across the street.
Yeah, the elders across the street have no idea what their names are. Unless they're in their car, I don't know what they look like. Yeah. I just know their car, and we've been here for 16, almost 17 years. Like, it's just crazy. But when Pops was talking about the village wasn't just about discipline and punishment either. It was about love and care. And it just made me think about, I don't know if you all have been watching the reboot of the Wonder Years. And I love that they totally, I grew up watching the Wonder Years, but the fact that I grew up watching the Wonder Years, and I love the fact that they made it Black this time around, and it's in Montgomery, Alabama in the 60s, right? And they actually talk about the Black issues, and one of them, it was a little boy it was a boy at school picking on the younger brother from the show. And so, of course, the mom, first of all, they're very involved in the school's activities, all of that good stuff. So it's amazing. I love to see these strong Black families, right? With non-traditional job titles and all that. But she sees the little boy and she decides to give him a ride home. Because I guess he was waiting. So fast forward this story. He's at the door and she realizes that no one is at home to greet him. And so when she just asked him, like, where are your parents? I believe both of his parents were dead and his brother was taking care of him at 21. His brother was only 21 and he was taking care of him. So what she did was she told that baby, get back in the car. And he went home with her. And it wasn't about taking him in. It was just making sure that he ate making sure that he had assistance with his homework. And then she get him back home, make sure he was at home safely, but you're not going to be at home. You know, what time does your brother get home? Or have your brother pick you up from here so that you're not at home for hours by yourself, because I believe they're in middle school. But just that's just how we look out for each other and how it has been. So it's just going back to all of that.
That's how it used to be.
And you know what? Yes. Collectively. Yes. Collectively.
Yeah.
And I would say that that's the type of mother that I strive to be, you know, and type of not just mother, but I don't even want to say the word citizen, but contributor.
Person. How about human? Oh, compassionate being.
Yeah. Person. Right.
All those bad curse words in America, you know, that's a curse word.
That's why, like,
we got compassion for folks.
When we first moved over here, we made our house. What's that, Pops?
I was going to say, let me ask this question. Kamala, Kamalason, what's her name? The newscaster.
Okay, I'm glad this is where we went.
Who is that? I'm not here.
I can't remember that, but anyway, there was a black woman wrote a book about her husband. I think the book is named Jordan's Journey, and I think they made a movie out of it.
Journey to Jordan.
But what I was trying to say, she took this Jordan. Her husband got killed over in Iraq.
Oh, A Journal for Jordan.
And she took this story. What is it?
It's
what you said was
A Journal for Jordan. That's the name.
Yeah, that's it. Journal for Jordan. Yeah, but she did so well with the. They're making a movie out of it, but she's doing like
Is that the Michael B. Jordan movie?
Anyway, she's putting her face on black people. We have problems just like everybody else, you know.
Yes.
And we love and criticize everything, whatever. But she make us human, you know. When she was talking about her husband, you know, he didn't just get killed in Iraq. You know, she was talking about the love that they had between the two of them and everything, you know. And so when they brought him home, you know, and all she had was a dog tag, she made a story out of it, you know. Mm. And it was beautiful. I got to see the movie now.
Yeah, I remember seeing the commercials for that, and I'm like, this isn't going to end the way I think it's going to end. I didn't know about all the other stuff. That's sad, though. But I mean, I you know, it's nice that people that she celebrated it, but it's sad that she had to lose her husband. That's always
fighting in the white man's war. But that's another conversation. But that's why people like Mildred.
I try to be sentimental, and I mean, just throw them in the trash.
I mean, again, the truth stands butt naked, barefoot, and bare. You know what I mean?
I try to have a sentimental.
I mean, it is what it is. You fighting for resources that white folks don't own for white people to
control.
Brother
away. Like, I'm just like, dang, man, another black family lost. Dang, that's messed up. You're like, yeah, you know, he died fighting the white man's war.
That's the truth. Where do we benefit off of war? We don't benefit off war. We get destroyed. We have our resources raped, pillaged. We helping white people control the world. Anyway, that's another conversation. I was going into. This is why it's important for people like Mildred and, you know, the actress and all of that to tell our stories, because they never gonna tell our stories from perspectives that inspire and motivate us. And why would they? Because they're busy doing it for themselves and for their children. I speak about this on the same thing when it comes to the educational system. This educational system ain't broke. It's doing exactly what it was supposed to do. It's making little Tommy and little Sally feel great about their history, their culture, their people, and the things that they can do and their possibilities in life. And we, Malcolm X said, you a fool for letting other people educate your children. So we need to be stepping in, not only with the education front, but with the movies, with the books, with the poetry, with the music. We got to control all of that so the narrative is inspiring and confidence building in our children. Otherwise, you know, your moans and complaining just going to fall on deaf ears. There's never going to be equality in this country. Like, man, get out of here. It's too ingrained in who these people are. They are absolute lunatics, and they have no interest in sharing their resources, and they think you a sucker if you got compassion. Like, oh man, I'm tired of it. I'm ready to go.
If you saw this episode at any point and you feel like you're this person, feel free to purchase my cousin's book, the Inadequate Essays, the Self-Reflections for Young Millennial ebook. It's also in paperback. Just feel free to do your part to break this gap that my uncle was talking about here.
Yeah. No, we're going to challenge you to buy the damn book because you should support young creatives in this space.
It's a beautiful book. It's well written.
There you go. But again, even beyond that,
I want the world to know it.
But beyond that,
approved.
If she made $1 million off of it, she can roll into the next project, right? With more confidence, more resources, more assets, more ability to tell more of these wonderful stories.
More money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she got to make some money. Otherwise, how's she gonna roll into the next project? And it's not like you said she wrote this project over the course of a year, right?
It's a holiday time, y'all. This is a perfect gift for anybody in your family who feels inadequate. If you can spell inadequate, you should buy this book.
If you can spell, you put inadequate in the search on Amazon, and you were like the 4th or 5th book to come up. So, little bit of Amazon SEO work, you can get to the top of that. It was only like 2 or 3 other books. It was somebody else. It was like longer stuff. But anyway, that's some e-commerce work you can do.
Those books are inadequate. This is the real book.
Those books are inadequate. This is the real one.
Buy this book.
My hope with this is to, like you said, next project, keep moving. But I would love to be able to, create a docu-series, because like in America, how we like have the highest maternal death rate of any developed country, right? I want to give women the ability to be able to tell their birth stories, the opportunity, and also connect them with the resources to heal, right? So, if I pitch a show and I come in and I'm like, it's not as simple as I'm gonna do your hair and your makeup, girl, and we're gonna talk about your birth story, and you're gonna look in the mirror and say you look cute and you feel good today. Like, it needs to be something that's like in there and visceral and connect resources with women so that they feel supported throughout when the cameras leave and we're at home. There was a movie that came out this past year called Fatherhood. I don't know if you guys seen that. Yeah, so
that was awesome.
Yeah, it has sprinkles about the Black maternal health. I was just like, dang, like, especially as an artist and as an actor too.
Author.
Author too. Excuse me. Let me.
Yes.
Commas. But it saddened me because I'm like, man, the story could have been even more powerful if like somebody that was behind the scenes was like, let's get in the full perspective of what it's like where mamas aren't coming home, and it's not just about the mamas, it's the families and the babies and the children who are left behind, then have to carry this around because their mother was ignored. And I just want to like do the work to have that space, to have that platform for these women to tell them stories and also to impact other people. Recently, a while back, I went to, I guess what you would call a maternal healing circle, right? So it was just a space where the community allowed people to talk about their birthing stories and things that they had went through. It was a gentleman there who was talking about, he was there actually accompanied by his current wife, but his previous wife had died during childbirth because she had cancer and she decided not to go on with chemotherapy. And he was talking about the after effects of how it impacted his life. And I said, a lot of times you don't necessarily hear those stories that are valid, and it's not people who feel like alone in this journey. Or there was another woman who spoke about how she grew up. She actually used the word inadequate. And I was like, God, is this you trying to show me a sign? Like, what's happening here? But she was saying that she grew up in a super religious household. I think she was a PK. And she was saying that she never had children because, she had never married. And she had her first child at like, I think she said 48. And the child ended up being on the spectrum and having some special needs. But she felt inadequate as a person because she felt as if she was then being challenged with her child who was born out of wedlock, to then like as if this was like a curse on her to feel like And I was like, oh my gosh. And this is a woman who is aged and feels this way because of her thought process, because somebody told her, she allowed a system or a religion to make her feel that way. And there's so many different stories that need to be told about birthing. And just, I want people to know, women to know that, like, whatever your story is, like, if it wasn't for the mamas, none of us would be here. And like, and of course the daddies too. We see y'all.
Sounds like you got a good basis for the Inadequate Show.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to tell all these stories.
Ooh, I like that name.
The Inadequate Show.
I like that name. Playing off of the book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be real easy. If you had the Inadequate Show, you just go on URL YouTube right now and just save the name so you can have your show.
Yeah, so just that, I'm claiming all that, but, and more importantly too about this process, like, yeah, it's like, yeah, you wrote a book, but I'm doing this off the back. I don't know if you look in the book, for people to see, the book is actually dedicated to the mothers and babies who have passed away due to implicit bias, and I leave a space in there where, you know, a person can decide to commemorate their life and their legacy. And it's bigger than me. It isn't about me, but it's about making sure that those women are seen and heard, and that we're able to, you know, lower those numbers, and we can do the work, so that we don't have to keep living this narrative. There's no reason to, you know.
What you holding up, Chris?
This is the dedication page, and she actually lists some names. How many names is this? It's a lot.
I can't even remember. And, you know, from the first time it's printed, unfortunately, like I said, there's some extra women who have, you know, passed away here. And especially during COVID, imagine this, you already have implicit biases, and then you have the COVID pandemic that happens. You have telemedicine. So if a woman has discomforts, or she's feeling a certain way, how can I, as a medical professional, first of all, not try to, you know, speed through this interaction, but also hear them, see what's going on? And unfortunately, a lot of women were also neglected. You know, a lot of people couldn't have birthing support in hospitals. That's why a big conversation about doulas are important. A lot of people don't know what doulas are, or lactation consultants, or you know, midwives. You know, that there are Black midwives out there. There are resources. There's Kamala Harris, our vice president, is now head of the Momnibus Act. A lot of people don't know what that is.
What is that?
The Momnibus Act is an act to basically extend Medicare or Medicaid for women from, I believe it's like, I don't know if these numbers, so don't quote me. If it's, I can't remember if it's 6 months after birth, to then extend it from to 12 months, but basically allow women to have, you know, what they call that fourth trimester after birth. You know, a lot of women may suffer from hemorrhaging, or a lot of women might not go to a checkup because their coverage is gone. You know, in America, you get 6 weeks to have a baby and you're back at it, you know. So just allowing that mom to have that space, those resources available. Some cities have started pilot programs to help mothers. So it's so many resources out here, like I said, but there's a lot of people who just don't know about them. So the more that we spread our word, we tell mothers all over, and we tell people we can get it out there, and we can do our due diligence to help people with this.
Man, that's beautiful, man. It's sensational.
Yeah, and you're passionate about it all, so that's wonderful. I was gonna ask what next, but I guess we hear what's next, right? Like, I guess we got that. Like, that's dope.
Yeah, trying to sow those seeds, and you know, just affirm what I want for Black and brown mamas, because there's no reason, like you said, we need to have those sacred, safe places. In America, it just seems as if, you know, that universal idea of cultural competency where medical providers can treat everyone the same. And that is as a human being. And like, when a medical provider is dealing with person, like, yeah, this is your job, but it's not like a good and a service. This is a life, human beings, you know? Yeah. So if there could be some type of universal, you know, training that they all could get, or I don't know. I just want to start these conversations, and then doing that on Instagram. I have a conversation that's coming up actually tomorrow, talking about creating safe spaces for birthing women. And yeah, just starting a conversation small, and it'll grow, you know, if we're feeding it.
Yeah, you know, what is that? What is it called?
Tomorrow it's just at Inadequate the Book. It's live on Instagram. It is
put it in the chat so I can put it in the thing about, because I'm telling you, man, typing is not my strong suit.
It's okay.
I'd be like, what was the thing you did on I'd be looking worse than that. You know, I'm inadequate at typing.
Yes.
Man, this is a great book title, man. It sells itself. You even got Grandpa reading. He never, you know, the fact Grandpa picked out the part of it that he remembered about the fried chicken. That tells you it's a good.
That resonated with him. Like, fried chicken. Wait a minute.
The fried chicken kind of struck me as to when I go to see a doctor or professional, there's certain problem. I'm quite sure my knee.
Change your angle, Pops. We can't see you.
Huh?
Change your angle. Like you gotta. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay. No, that fried chicken struck me to the point where I was thinking about when I go to the doctor. They don't seem to. This is what I come up with all the time. You know, well, you old. You know, you got arthritis, so this is your problem. I'm saying, well, doc, this is something special I got here. May not have nothing to do with old and arthritis, but they always want to kind of brush it off. You know, as to you're just an old black man, and then this problem you got can't be solved, you know, which I know ain't true. So that's when she was talking. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Pops. I'm sorry.
No, I was just talking about the of fried chicken, you know. You see, there's some kind of connotation they put on you as I ain't got the words to explain it, but they kind of put you in a category separate from the rest of the folks. You know,
they put you in a
stereotype.
You got a problem, but there's no research done on your particular problem. They just labeled it as something and go on from there. You know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
yeah, I was just gonna mention, because we just switched our insurance, which means we switched doctors. And when we were making the appointments, I'm quick. Y'all got what black female y'all got? Y'all got a black man? And you know, it's because I'll say this, and let me say this. I've had really good white doctors. I have. You know, our first son was delivered. It sounds like I got white friends. I got white friends. I got black friends. But as we talk about this, what I've learned is that I need somebody who understands me and sees me. And like you said, and I think Mildred, when you said that the doctor didn't see me, that just hit. You know, that's why I want a black female doctor to walk in the room and see, you know, and I feel comfortable with her because I know that she relates to something on the same level as me. The something that a white man can't understand, an Indian man, and sometimes even white females. There's certain things that are just different to us. And it was very important that we had black doctors. I just want black doctors because I don't think I've had a black doctor yet that I felt like was a quack. But I've had some white ones, and I've had some Indians where I walked out like, were they even listening? What just happened? Just like they diagnosed me with what? They gave me a prescription for what? Like, did they listen? And then they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. I know you got it wrong because you didn't hear me. I really can't think. I really don't think I've ever had that experience with any black doctor.
So obviously I'm trying to get a male doctor, right? So a black male doctor. Chris is calling like, you got any Latino male doctors? Like okay, anybody. You got a white boy and we got Indians. And I'm like, Indians think they white anyway. So, and that's how they look. They look at us with the same lens, like we ain't work for them.
You gotta be really specific about that too, because like, are you talking? Because like the caste system over there is real. Like it's 100% real.
Yeah, I still ain't giving them no pass for how they see us though.
No, I understand what you're saying, but I'm not going to generalize it because that's like, hey man, I'm just trying to make sure.
No, you're right. You're right. And literally, what I told Chris was really what I'm looking for is compassion.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Like humanity in a doctor.
Exactly.
But we ended up selecting a black woman for me.
Yeah.
She's still gonna see me like she see her daddy, her son,
her
brother. You know, she gonna see. That's not guaranteed either, right? Like, but I just feel like the odds is better if we got somebody. Black doctors matter. You know, it's crazy.
Because just like even something as simple as I have eczema. I've had it. When I look back now, I've probably had it since I was in elementary school. And my mom, of course, because there aren't a lot of black dermatologists back then in East St. Louis. My mom's taking me to all these doctors. These doctors, they don't have an idea what it is. They're literally shooting me up with stuff. Like I have scars on my knees right now, but they were like injecting these little needles all through because they couldn't figure out what was wrong with my skin. I can't tell you how many oatmeal baths I've taken, but they never diagnosed it. I didn't receive a diagnosis on what was going on with my skin until I was in college. One day I came home. I had been learning how to swim, and that chlorine was tearing my skin up to the point I literally looked like a lizard. And I called my mom in the room, and I just took off my shirt, and my mom immediately started crying. She was like, okay, we got to figure this out. She found a black Frenchman. And as soon as I walked in, he said, baby, that's eczema. Like immediately. But he understood what eczema looked like on black skin. Those white doctors didn't. And I was just like,
they couldn't even see it on your light skin.
They couldn't. You know they are not here with you, right, babe? You know we're about to log off.
I told you, this is the eternal show. We on the show forever.
No.
That's wild. That's wild that you had the experience that where these are people who are doctors go to school for like what over 10 years. Yeah. And for them to like not realize that they didn't know what
it looked like on black skin.
Or like Mildred was saying, they ain't even paying attention.
They're not even paying attention.
They ain't even paying attention.
Like when I say it was such a mess. So I had to have had it for at least 10 years before I had a doctor say this is what's going on and this is what you need to do for your skin because this is how black skin, reacts to certain things. And when I say that man had me cleared up in 3 days, when I say my entire body, I look like a lizard. It was so embarrassing. That man cleared me up in 3 days for what these other doctors act like they couldn't figure out. Like it was just, and I was just so appreciative of him. I was so appreciative of him. And I will continue to be. So.
Well, we didn't win past it, but let's start winding down. We probably should have did this a while ago, but it was such a great show today. We got a acclaimed author, Mildred, who came in.
Yes.
Yes.
So, Pops, did you see the fried chicken on the cover of the book?
I didn't hear you.
Did you see the fried chicken on the cover of the book?
Yeah. What?
Uh-oh.
He look at the book now. There we go.
Fried chicken on the cover of the book?
Yes, sir. In that top right corner. That's a hand holding the chicken wing.
He's like, what?
Get your magnifying glass. There you go.
Above the credit card. I got it. That's the chicken wing.
I can't see. I couldn't hardly enter these emblems, but yeah, there it is.
It's amazing that he was able to read the book with the
fried chicken. It kind of reminded me of, took me back, where I ain't got words no more. But they got you in that black class, going back to Zola, hope you don't have no fried chicken and collard greens.
And white people love to, what Paula Deen whites have love to cook fried chicken with butter and collard greens and cornbread and everything else. The white people just smoke chicken and meat.
Let me get my final thought.
Go first.
My final thought is I can't believe Mildred don't eat no fried chicken. And we gotta introduce her to the air fryer because now you can eat fried chicken.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Do y'all know this man is obsessed with the damn air fryer now? He want to put everything in the air fryer. He acts like we don't have a microwave anymore. He was eating up a chicken patty that he cooked yesterday. Like it's like a turkey breast, but it's a chicken breast. He wants to heat it up in the air fryer. I'm like, boy, if you don't put that thing in the microwave,
Crystal ain't good. Crystal
air fryer now.
Well, you know,
Crystal has fried some chicken.
We air fry all the chicken. You know, you don't get all that grease.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's Mildred. You can officially eat chicken again. It's on fried chicken. Crystal ain't cooking no fried chicken.
Honestly, I just haven't had chicken in 7 years. No chicken at all. I missed the bird. I've been trying to entertain the idea to introduce it back in my life.
Man,
Hollywood
told some cauliflower or something.
Hollywood told Mildred, you gotta sacrifice something. And Mildred's like, I ain't sacrificing my body. I'll just give up chicken.
I just give up chicken.
Yeah.
All I know is Crystal has fried some chicken in this house maybe twice in the 15 years, and now we can eat it every day.
Auntie, you ever been frying chicken?
Huh?
You ever been frying chicken?
I hate the smell of grease in the house.
And it's unhealthy.
But it's not the healthier version. But the sad thing is, I make some really good fried chicken.
Wait, Auntie, so we do a show every week where we drink alcohol, and y'all drink alcohol every day. But fried chicken,
I drink alcohol every day.
Yes, you do.
This week. We detoxing from Jamaica.
We had that yesterday.
Every day I see one of y'all comment on the BCBE board about some type of libation. Every day.
Them old pictures, man.
Fried chicken that's the line you don't cross.
No, I'm saying, like, the thing, it really bothers me to smell the grease for days. I don't like it. Like, I
don't even remember what it tastes like.
Auntie got bougie nasal passages.
It's good that you don't remember what it tastes like, so you ain't got.
I go out to get some Harold's tonight.
You know you're not. You ain't going nowhere.
Auntie got some bougie nasal passages. Like I don't like the smell of grease in my home. I've come too far from you.
Stick around for a while. I see you. You seen it, her. It stick around. It's like pungent.
It sticks around.
Somebody's house that fry stuff all the time. You love them. But you know when they coming because you can smell it in their coat.
Yes.
And everything else.
And even though we only have a little
smells like love.
I just to smell, like when I fried those French fries, like I don't fry anything. Like French fries, everything goes in the oven or the air fryer now. But when on the Q's anniversary, at Founders Day, I made some French fries and chicken, I think, for his Sands. And I actually fried it. And it looked good. But like I smelled it, I think then I smelled it at least for like 2 days. I was like, that's my own fried food. Just
Dang. I didn't even know that. That explains a lot, but
But it's funny whenever your cousins come in and I am frying stuff, Johnny be like, "You frying it today?" I'm like,
but you only fry things twice, so like it only happened twice, right?
Yeah.
Now I need an air fryer because that sounds interesting.
The air fryer?
Yeah, air frying.
What sold me on it, I've been sold on it, but we still had a toaster oven. The toaster oven died one day, like a couple weeks ago. So I was like, let me go ahead and get the air fryer. When I tell you, you can make, Mildred, I don't know if your baby likes French fries and nuggets and stuff like that, right? So instead of putting it in the oven or the toaster oven and waiting 20 to 30 minutes, it literally cooks in like 10, 11 minutes.
And this air fryer sound magical, man.
It is, and then we always heat up our pizza, and we've done that in the oven forever. But to heat it up in the air fryer is like super crispy again, brand new. Yeah, the air fryer is bae.
Man, I didn't buy into the hype, Joshua. Years ago, I was like, they're lying. They're not lying.
I said the same thing.
I need an air fryer now. This is
You want to fry everything in a doggone air fryer.
Everybody in the sound of my voice, go on to Amazon and when you go get the air fryer, add Inadequate the book.
Let us get a referral link. Wait a minute.
Hold on. Let me say this. Go and get your air fryer, but also add Inadequate the book on Amazon.
Yes.
It is a paperback and ebook.
While
you're waiting for your chicken nuggets and or fried chicken to fry in the air fryer, you can be reading passage or an essay from Inadequate the Book from inadequatethebook.com. Follow on Instagram. Make sure Mildred's a millionaire so that when next time she comes to Michigan, she can buy us an air fryer for our home.
Josh, let me give you some grade A husband game. Buy your wife an air fryer for Christmas.
No.
Win, buddy.
No. You ain't said nothing but a word.
No. Nephew. No. Let that woman pick out her own damn air fryer.
You know, Ashley loves the gifts I get her.
Do you remember the first thing you surprised her with without her a
house?
A whole ass house?
Josh, you already did a house. An air fryer is nothing, buddy. You can do it easy.
When you have as much confidence in your decisions as me, you can buy a house without telling about it. You saw how it worked out. We didn't flip that house into another house. You see, people gotta understand. I have to eat that. It runs in the family. Look what Grandpa did. He done went down to the woods of Alabama, found Grandma, brought her north to freedom. Got her a house.
Now you got a grand piano.
Yeah, you got a grand piano.
He drinking Grosh and baby grand.
Then you got look at Uncle Pooh Bear. He been moving this dream. Now he is the urban intellectual. Now she got herself an air fryer. She can fry food. I have to smell it. Look at that.
Fried chicken.
She done wrote 100 pages. 100. Writing. That's serious. I don't even write my name anymore. And Mildred wrote 100 of them. Pages. Not inadequate pages either. This is some real stuff. So don't forget, when you get your air fryer on Amazon, go and also click Inadequate, the book. It might be the fourth book you see, as like Pooh Bear said. It was a black lady. There's a fried chicken in the top right-hand corner. If you don't see that fried chicken wing, that ain't the right book.
That ain't
it. Nephew, I'll see the link of the air fryer we got. It's pretty dope.
All right, I'm gonna make sure I get that air fryer for Ashley. I'm gonna say Auntie made sure she wanted you to have this.
This particular air fryer. It was Auntie approved.
Auntie approved. It's East St. Louis approved.
The boogie.
Man, let me tell you something. Until last week, I thought East St. Louis was actually on the east side of St. Louis.
It's east of St. Louis, though.
Yeah, but I thought it was like in Missouri.
I was like, side of Chicago.
I was like, why does Auntie know so much about Chicago? Well, she's from Missouri.
Wow.
That tells you my geography, but Auntie, give your final thoughts since I'm talking about a place I don't know about.
Shoot, let's see. I don't know. This was a really good show. I've truly enjoyed this one. Yeah. Final thought, I am so proud of you, Mildred. Like, this is so dope. It was so funny because I got it when we came back from Jamaica, man. When I came home, it was waiting on me. And I was like, just opening the mail. And I got it. I was like, oh. So it's been crazy playing catch up. I cannot wait to read it. I've been skimming through it, though. And I love all the stuff putting there because I like affirmations and SMART goals and birthday plans, all that good stuff. So, y'all, it's not just a book. It's truly a book for moms, expecting moms, to plan out some things. It's not just to read, it's for you to think and to implement. So I am super proud of you. I can't wait to read the whole thing. Whenever downtime I get, I guess whenever Pooh is driving while we're on the way to Michigan, I'll read and sit back. You hear me throw that loud? You're driving. I saw that. But I would say it's been a great discussion.
What did you say about Michigan?
What
did you say about Michigan?
I told Mildred that I was going to use our drive to Michigan to read.
When you coming to Michigan?
We don't know yet.
When you coming to Michigan?
We have to talk about it. It'll be soon. It'll be soon. We're just trying to figure out.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm looking forward to y'all.
Yeah.
Okay. If y'all are here,
we gotta come and see you.
Yeah. If y'all are here staying until the New Year's, let me know.
Yeah, and because it's interesting.
But before y'all go, did you know I went to Jamaica? Did anyone know that?
Which part of Jamaica?
No.
When you go to Jamaica, which part?
Are you hearing what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Now I was gonna say I was over in Jamaica, and one of the revolutionaries in Jamaica hid out in the mountains. And I went up into the mountains where the water, fresh water streams and everything. But he went up so high that they could never capture him that high. he was in like a fortress. They showed the little cavern place where he lived at, you know. But the people were trying to capture him. They couldn't capture him because he was up there in those mountains and it was dangerous, you know. So you really bad to go up in them. I just had to say that. You know.
Which part of Jamaica, Pops?
You have to name me a part that I can say. I forgot.
Kingston, Montego Bay, Ochos Rio, Negril.
No, it wasn't capital. It was I would assume that it might be further north.
A lot of them are north. It's a lot.
Name me another city, maybe.
Negril is in the north.
Beautiful beaches right there on the ocean, but I can't remember.
It might just be you might just walk around all Jamaica.
2000. I went there in 2013.
Really? Did we know that?
Apparently, Grandpa just leave and don't tell nobody. Just get on a plane, go to Jamaica for several days, and come back.
I mean,
Grandpa, you didn't have no special plans when you were there, and that's why you can't remember.
I say you said the north, so it wasn't the Grill or Montego Bay or Ochos Rio.
Montego
Bay. Okay.
Montego Bay. That's where we were at.
Okay.
I spent a week down there, and we traveled all up into the mountains and everything. Drank some of that good old Jamaican fresh water coming out of the mountains. And very enjoyable trip.
Nice.
But then they went on to talk about the people that fought during the revolt when they were trying to get their independence, and that took us up into the mountains.
What is dope? There were a lot of beautiful mountains out there. I would love to hike out there.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah. When I say the weather was absolutely amazing, it literally stays between 75 and 85.
Oh wow.
And the crazy thing is their record cold is 67. What? They were like, it was so cold. We were like,
that's cold.
We'd be out there in flip-flops. What'd you say, Pops?
But you know what I gathered in Jamaica? Nobody can starve in Jamaica, can you?
Right,
what?
I mean, all the fruit on the trees, the bananas and all that stuff, the coconuts
and stuff. Yeah, the palms.
Man, it seemed like people to smack a tree and fruit come down, they just catch it like, I ain't hungry. I ain't gonna be hungry today, man.
Hey, you know what? With all those goats running around, you shouldn't be hungry.
And fish from the ocean.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Like
so
these
food
people just walking down to the guy, they just open up their hand and the fish just jump into their heart. It's hard, man. Food scarcity is not a joke. You can't just walk around. There's still laws. Like people get angry about that stuff, man.
But I remember looking at the trees, like you said, Pops. I was looking at the trees outside of our window. I was like, wow, those are just coconuts, just like outside our balcony. Babe, were you looking at those? Did you see the coconuts hanging? Like it was just so crazy to see. So yeah.
He was too busy thinking about getting back home to that air fryer.
Now we don't care about the air fryer in Jamaica.
Air fryer.
Fried chicken.
But I can tell you something else that you probably thought about in Jamaica. Getting Mildred's book from inadequate.com, which you can find on Amazon, an ebook and physical paper copy form. Don't forget, don't be inadequate this holiday season. Get your friends and family the new Inadequate book by Mildred.
Come on, hype man. I love you, nephew.
I love you. Sean, you the man. You the man.
Give me your final thoughts, Mildred, because I know Grandpa gonna keep having these memory lane moments. The show gonna go on forever.
I just wanted to say thank you guys. Like I appreciate just coming on here, spending this time with you guys, laughing and just having raw conversation, and that means a lot. And thank you for all the gems dropped, Crystal. Like you gave such a raw interview, and I appreciate that, your words. And I just remember being a year ago. I think it was actually December a year ago we spoke, and I was like, wow. And that person that I was, and those gems that you drop, and other women that have just given me, has made me grow. You know, forget all the actor and all that other stuff, but just as a person, as a mom, you know, that right there, feeling centered there because of, you know, beautiful, strong women who are pouring into other women. I commend you for that, and that means a lot.
Awesome.
My pleasure. Like I said, thank you for including me.
Awesome.
Sensational. Well, Grandpa, you got to wrap up the show. What's your final thought, man? The myth, the legend, the grand piano.
My thought.
Oh, you heard me. He just froze. Grandpa, what's your final thought?
Because
you're
written because it's so easy. It's so easy reading, you know, and enjoyable. Because I think I just picked it. I read about half of it so far. I got to go into the other part, but that's my final thought. Very good book, Mildred.
Thank you, guys. Thank
Good
you.
job.
Good book. It's a magnifier glass approved.
Yeah.
I was gonna say 92 approved, but I think yours is better.
Man, I'm just so happy you guys came. What was it? Next week we will be. I'm sure I'll be able to find some time because we'll be traveling next week because we're going to Ashley's family for Christmas. So we will. I think we'll be there pretty early in the day, so I'll be able to set up stuff. So I'm just it should be same time, different location. It might be a different background behind my head, but as usual, I'm happy to see everybody. Auntie and uncles, maybe they slide up, come back, you know, stay maybe to New Year's. I might be able to see them if they came up to Michigan for any reason whatsoever. But that's just, you know, me saying that out loud. My birthday present would be nice if they came. Say that long. But
happy belated, nephew. We
already buying an air fryer
on the beach. We were laying on the beach, and I said, "Oh, today is nephew's birthday."
You already buying an air fryer, so
anybody who saw that, you can see that's my aunt's lion face because they were not thinking about me. They were drinking, having fun. Uncle Cooper, look at this smile. He's like, eh.
Stop lying. Didn't we talk about it being Joshua's birthday while we were?
I was like, it ain't a big milestone.
He said, let me tell you about how the birthdays in the American system is really how it's tearing us down, and it's a part of the white man's war. We really ain't getting nothing out of it.
I missed my hat. I need the hat.
I found that hat. It's in my.
Happy belated nephew.
Thank you, Auntie. Well, I love you guys. I'll see you guys next week. Mildred, you're always welcome to come back on. You know, now that we have several authors on the show, we'll come back. No, my you know, don't forget, my aunt is also coming out with a book, you know.
Hush up, nephew.
We're not gonna say the names of it, but you know, it's coming out soon. Watch that. And look, Grandpa's like, turn off the camera. All right, see you, Grandpa. We'll see you guys next week. See you in the shows.